A routine international flight turned into a devastating tragedy today, June 12, 2025, when an Air India aircraft crashed shortly after departing from Ahmedabad. The flight, designated AI-171, was a Boeing 787 Dreamliner that had just taken off from Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel International Airport. Its destination was London's Gatwick Airport, a journey that should have taken several hours. Instead, the flight ended in disaster just minutes after leaving the runway. On board were 244 individuals, consisting of 232 passengers and a crew of 12. The passenger manifest included a diverse group of nationalities, with reports indicating media group, airport departure lounge with multicultural passengers, close-up of airline passenger passports, diverse group of people waiting at gate at its stock at a distribute _equally, 169 Indian citizens, 53 British nationals, 7 from Portugal, and 1 Canadian citizen, all now at the center of this unfolding catastrophe. The sequence of events leading to the crash was alarmingly swift. Flight AI-171 departed from Ahmedabad at approximately 1:38 p.m. local time, beginning its ascent toward its planned cruising altitude. However, within 5 minutes of takeoff, something went terribly wrong. The pilot sent out a Mayday distress call, a clear signal to air traffic controllers that the aircraft was in grave danger. Immediately following this urgent communication, all contact with the plane was lost. The flight, which had only reached a maximum altitude of around 625 feet, began a rapid and uncontrolled descent, disappearing from radar screens and leaving a terrifying silence in its wake. The final moments of the flight were witnessed not just by air traffic control, but by people on the ground who looked up in horror. Unverified video footage that surfaced online shortly after the incident appears to show the large Boeing 787 flying at an unnervingly low altitude over the densely packed buildings of the city. In the video, there is no visible sign of fire or smoke emanating from the aircraft itself as it descends. The footage captures the jet for only a few seconds before it disappears behind structures, followed by the sight of a massive explosion and a thick plume of black smoke rising into the sky, marking the point of impact. The aircraft ultimately crashed at approximately 1:43 p.m. in the residential area of Meganinagar, a densely populated neighborhood in Ahmedabad. The impact was catastrophic, not only for those on the plane, but also for the community below. The crash site immediately became a scene of chaos and destruction, with debris scattered over a wide area and buildings engulfed in flames. For the 244 souls who had boarded the flight with hopes of reaching London, their journey ended in the most tragic way imaginable, just moments after it had begun, turning a regular Thursday afternoon into a day of national mourning. The crash of Air India flight AI-171 sent shockwaves of panic and terror through the Meganinagar neighborhood. Residents who were going about their daily lives were suddenly confronted with an unimaginable scene. Eyewitnesses described hearing a deafening roar, far louder and closer than the usual sound of planes from the nearby airport. Many rushed out into the streets or to their windows just in time to see the massive aircraft flying dangerously low. They reported a sense of disbelief and helplessness as the plane descended, followed by a powerful explosion that shook the ground and shattered windows for blocks. The immediate aftermath was one of confusion and fear as people scrambled for safety. The impact occurred in one of the most densely populated parts of the city, compounding the tragedy. The Boeing 787 slammed into several buildings, including one structure that initial reports identified as a residential building housing medical students. The force of the crash was immense, causing structures to collapse and igniting a massive fire that sent thick black smoke billowing high into the afternoon sky. This column of smoke became a grim beacon, visible from miles away, signaling the scale of the disaster to the entire city of Ahmedabad. The community was instantly transformed into a disaster zone, with residents trying to process the horror that had just unfolded. Emergency services were dispatched to the scene within minutes, facing a challenging and chaotic environment. Firefighters, police, and medical teams rushed to Meganinagar, where they were met with raging fires, unstable structures, and widespread debris. The narrow streets of the neighborhood made it difficult for larger emergency vehicles to access the immediate crash site, forcing many first responders to proceed on foot. Their initial efforts focused on containing the blaze to prevent it from spreading to adjacent buildings and starting the difficult search for survivors, both from the aircraft and from the buildings that were hit. The human toll became tragically apparent as rescue operations got underway. While official casualty numbers have not yet been confirmed, local media outlets are reporting that fatalities could exceed 170. Rescue workers are navigating the treacherous debris field, a heartbreaking task of searching for anyone who might have survived the impact. Ambulances were seen rushing the injured to nearby hospitals, which quickly activated their own emergency protocols to handle the influx of patients. The scene on the ground is a testament to the bravery of the first responders and the profound grief that has enveloped the community of Meghaninagar. The crash of Flight AI-171 is not just a national tragedy for India, it is also a significant and somber moment in global aviation history. This incident marks the first ever fatal crash involving a Boeing 787 Dreamliner. Since its introduction into commercial service in 2011, the Dreamliner has been one of the world's most modern and technologically advanced aircraft, earning a reputation for safety and efficiency. Airlines around the globe have relied on the 787 for long-haul routes, and it has maintained a perfect safety record with no passenger fatalities in its nearly 15 years of operation. Today's disaster has shattered that unblemished record. The Boeing 787 Dreamliner was heralded as a revolutionary aircraft, constructed with lightweight composite materials and featuring advanced electrical systems and fuel-efficient engines. Its introduction was a major milestone for Boeing and the aviation industry as a whole. While the aircraft did face some early technical issues, most notably with its lithium-ion batteries, which led to a temporary grounding of the global fleet in 2013, these problems were addressed, and the plane went on to fly millions of passengers safely. The fact that this crash involved a Dreamliner will undoubtedly draw intense scrutiny from aviation experts, regulators, and airlines worldwide. This historic loss raises immediate questions about the cause of the catastrophic failure. Investigators will be meticulously examining every possibility, from mechanical or structural failure to external factors or human error. The pilot's mayday call just minutes after takeoff suggests a sudden and critical emergency. But without the flight data recorder and cockpit voice recorder, it is too early to speculate on what that emergency was. Boeing, the aircraft's manufacturer, has already issued a statement acknowledging the incident and has pledged to provide technical assistance to the investigating authorities, as is standard procedure in any major air crash. The global aviation community is watching this investigation closely. The findings will have significant implications not only for Air India, but for all airlines that operate the Boeing 787. The crash serves as a stark reminder that despite incredible advancements in technology and safety protocols, aviation is not without risk. For years, the Dreamliner was a symbol of modern aviation's safety achievements. The tragic loss of Flight AI-171 in Ahmedabad now marks a sorrowful chapter in its history, prompting a re-evaluation of an aircraft that was, until today, considered to have a flawless operational record in terms of passenger safety. In the wake of the devastating crash, a comprehensive response was immediately mobilized by authorities at both the national and local levels. India's Directorate General of Civil Aviation announced that it has launched an immediate and thorough investigation into the cause of the accident. A team of investigators has been dispatched to the crash site in Ahmedabad to secure the scene and begin the crucial task of recovering the aircraft's black boxes, the flight data recorder and cockpit voice recorder. These devices hold vital information that could explain the aircraft's final moments and the reason for the pilot's mayday call. The Indian government has responded with urgency and gravity. Prime Minister Narendra Modi expressed his shock and profound sadness, stating that he is in constant contact with local authorities to monitor the situation. The Civil Aviation Minister Ram Mohan Naidu Kinjarapu is personally overseeing the response, ensuring that all necessary resources are being deployed for the rescue and relief efforts. He has emphasized that the government's top priorities are providing immediate medical aid to the injured and offering support to the families of the victims who are now facing an unbearable loss. The government's swift action underscores the seriousness of this national tragedy. Air India, the operator of the flight, has also activated its emergency protocols. The airline confirmed the accident in a public statement and expressed its deepest condolences to the families of the passengers and crew. An emergency response center has been established to coordinate the airline's efforts, and special assistance teams are being assembled to provide support, information, and counseling to the affected families. Air India's chairman, Natarajan Chandrasekaran, has called the crash a dark day for the airline and the nation, vowing full cooperation with the investigation to determine what went wrong on Flight AI-171. As rescue operations continue and the investigation begins, information is still developing. Gatwick Airport in London, the flight's intended destination, has confirmed that the plane crashed on departure and is working to support passengers who were waiting to meet the flight. The international community, particularly the governments of the United Kingdom, Portugal, and Canada, whose citizens were on board, will be closely following the investigation. For now, the focus remains on the immediate response on the ground and providing comfort to the grieving families. The full story of what happened today over Ahmedabad will only emerge in the days and weeks to come.